Gonna call the meeting to order. We'll start with the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if you want to go ahead and take the roll. Here.
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 Here. Here. Here.
Thank you. Before we move on to the approval of the agenda, we have a new name and a new person sitting here with us today. So Gordon, welcome. If you could maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're wanting to serve on the Parks Commission.
Okay. Thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here. I'm honored to be part of this organization and hopefully contribute a little something. I am a 31-year resident of Tahoe City in the Homewood area. I live in Homewood now. And I just retired from running a engineering consulting firm as a civil engineer and transportation engineer. So have worked with the county, have worked with, I think, all of the municipalities over the years, largely on traffic studies and transit studies, bus system studies, but also park design and trail design studies. I've done some work for state parks and for National Park Service on a variety of things. And just over the years, though, working on parks projects were the most fun. You know, you really get a sense of accomplishment of, what you've provided to the community. So when this opportunity came up, I took it. Thank you.
Well, welcome. Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Yes. Has everybody had a chance to review the agenda? Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda for March 17th, 2025.
Can I get a second?
I'll second that. Well, you can second it. Put Jeremy's name down.
Jeremy's the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, approve the agenda. Moving on to the approval of the minutes of the May 15th, 2025 meeting. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes? Can I get a motion to?
I'll move that we approve the minutes from May 15th, 2025.
All right. You have a second? Sure. Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Yes, you probably should. Moving on to the public comment. During this item, the public may address the commission on items not on this agenda. This public comment period is limited to 15 minutes, so please limit comments to 3 minutes per person. If all comments cannot be heard within the 15-minute time limit, the public comment period will be taken up at the end of the regular meeting. The commission is not permitted to take any action on items addressed under this item. Are there any public comments? Okay. We will move on to the report from the Parks Administrator.
Good evening, everyone. Chair, commissioners, appreciate you again contributing your valuable time to this meeting today, and especially would like to welcome our newest commissioner, Gordon Shaw, who we've had some opportunities to meet in recent months with the North Shore Trail ribbon cutting, and then also a follow-up meeting with Kyle and myself. So thank you again for making the time and getting you the material you need to serve in your current capacity. So we'll go ahead and get started with the presentation. This past month, we received approval for the fiscal year 2025-2026 by our Board of Supervisors, and wanted to highlight some aspects of our Parks Division budget. So there are no impacts to contract services or staffing that move through. We also rolled over project budgets from the previous year, and supplemental requests that were submitted will be reevaluated at the September budget amendment for projects related to major maintenance as well as capital replacement that require general fund support. So we look forward to bringing news back on that. Also, moving on to staffing and capacity. So we are currently moving forward with some key positions and recruitments, looking at, again, building capacity and planning for the future. So yesterday, a maintenance worker position closed, and we'll be reviewing around 150 plus applications that are accessible to a variety of departments, and that will be related to extra help support. We also opened this week the Parks Operations Supervisor position that was previously occupied by Casey Lyons, who was promoted into the project management role, or project manager role, excuse me. And that will close on the 29th of this month. It is a promotional only opportunity, and we're looking forward to seeing what interest comes from that. Additionally, the parks worker position will be opening up in the next week or so, where we'll be targeting 3 or more positions where we'll also be focused on fuel load reduction support. And again, as we go through this, we're able to generate lists of qualified applicants that we can access at any point in time over the next 6 months, or extend that every 3 months for the next 2 years, again, thinking about succession planning and how we're preparing for the future. So appreciate everyone that's been involved in that effort. This also ties into the RSG consultants study that we mentioned at the last meeting. So we did bring on the consultants, expanding their scope of work beyond what they've been doing with the West Placer governance study. That started about 2 weeks ago. We've made our way through interviews with all staff again, looking at historically where we've been, right-sizing the department and looking into the future. And we really appreciate all of the input received to date, and we'll be opening that up to intra-departmental representatives from the CEO's office, as well as other key partners, again, evaluating capacity, what our current and future needs are as we plan for growth. So that study will end in October, and we look forward to bringing those findings back to you as well. Again, thinking about investment and building capacity, there are several key grant opportunities that are starting to open up through state agencies. The first was Sierra Nevada Conservancy, the Tahoe Conservancy, and state parks, some of which are tied to Proposition 4 funding, which also opens up opportunities for CEQA exemption around parks and trails. So we're working really closely with external partners to understand collaborative opportunities and projects that would be competitive. So that will be continuing on a rolling basis through December and onward. All right, so current priorities, end of year again, wrap up with contract renewals. We're pleased to share that we have renewed some key contracts, including that with our Parks Patrol that was signed today and extended for another year. We'll hear more on that from Dan and other staff today. Additionally, coming before the Board of Supervisors on Tuesday will be the agreement with CDFW for Bear River fishing access. I know that that's something that Commissioner Ricker is especially interested in, and we're excited to be extending or proposing to extend that term to 5 years as opposed to the previous 2-year term that we had in place with them. And both sides are pleased with how that agreement has taken shape. Additionally, site inspections continue as a best practice, including in the Tahoe region, reviewing paved paths and sites and thinking about, again, planning for the year ahead and subsequent years for capital replacement and major investment. And we are doing all of this on top of moving our office and getting folks situated. So again, we're all in one place and we can strengthen our um, the way that we work together. And lastly, again, it is peak season. So we've been working really closely with the Sheriff's Office, PIO, CEO, to coordinate messaging around peak season and increased visitation, especially in our Tahoe Beach areas. And I have some signage to show you with moon dunes that our staff have contributed to, as well as some public service announcements and the like. So in the upper left, you'll see Lieutenant Don Nevins with the Sheriff's Office, who partnered with us in recent months to coordinate messaging through various channels to inform people of what they can and cannot do in our public recreation area. So all of that is captured in the new fresh signage that rolled out at Moon Dunes Beach. And that's also been cascading through our park system, and that project's been led by planner Sean Johnson. On the lower left, some other summer highlights. That is a recent forestry tour that was supported by our Department of Ag Parks and Natural Resources, contracting out with the Resource Conservation District. And we use that as an opportunity to meet with various public and private partners, including Sugar Bowl, Circle, various jurisdictions, from fire districts to the cities and others in the region to discuss fuel reduction activities and the nexus of recreation and resiliency. So that's many of us walking the site at Sugar Bowl and how that ties into the Immigrant Trail Project. And so there's some videos that were shared out. Again, it's another opportunity to highlight the collaboration happening between us, our partners, and our Forest Health Division. Upper right is familiar to some of you that were able to make it. That is the celebration and coming together around the Green Valley Trailhead Interpretive Panel Project and the improvements that happened at the trailhead. So would like to give a shout out to Casey Lyons, who contributed to that project, Mark Henry, Commissioner Ricker, and others that supported that, I think, over a 2-year timeline. And it was really nice to see and hear the stories that were also captured by our Public Information Office. And lastly, as we all know, parks make life better, and there was some survey results that I'd like to share from you with the general plan update, where respondents, I believe there was around 1,500 or so folks that were randomly selected to participate, commenting on the quality of life as residents here in Placer County, and overwhelmingly they point to open space, mountains and nature, and parks and recreation, ranking much higher than even public safety. So again, that speaks to what we all know about what we do and love, is that our park spaces are truly important, and it contributes to why people enjoy working, living, and playing here. So with that, I will end my report and ask if you have questions. Okay.
Good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Kyle Smith, your principal planner in Park Trails and Open Space, and I'll take a brief moment here to talk about some of the items that went in front of our board since I last spoke with you a couple of months ago. So we've had 3 actions go to the board. The first is this annexation of a subdivision, Creekview Ranch, into the county service area zone of benefit. So we do this, we annex subdivisions into our county service area, essentially when the houses are getting built, so that we can then levy those property assessments to pay for maintenance activities and other operations on site. So that's for Creekview Ranch Village 4. That's over in West County, just south of PFE Road. The next one is a public hearing for the Granite Bay L&L, our Granite Bay Landscaping and Lighting District. That is the funding mechanism in Granite Bay that provides for our annual maintenance activities and operations. And we have this activity every year where we have to essentially re-report on the engineer's report, or on the Landscape and Lighting District engineer's report, and then levy the assessment each year. So it's usually a 3-step process. This 3rd step was completed here in April, and we will be receiving the 26-27 levies starting in January. The increase is tied every year to a consumer price index, and this year it increased by about 3% from $100 to about $103 per year is what each house essentially in Granite Bay pays into our maintenance activities. And then the final action in June was the approval and appropriation of funding for a shade structure replacement at the Meadow Vista equestrian area. So that shade structure that used to be there is well out of its useful life and does no longer provide shade. So we are replacing the shade structure with a sturdier metal structure that Casey will be talking to a little bit later today. But that's out at the Meadow Vista equestrian site. And with that, those were the 3 actions that were taken to the board over the last couple of months, and I'm happy to expand on any of them or answer any questions.
Any questions from anybody? Okay. So it looks like we're moving on to the Park Impact Fee Fund Analysis Report. Looks like that's you, Kyle.
It sure is. Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, Kyle Smith, Principal Planner, here to talk about our park dedication fee fund balance. Since we last spoke a couple of months ago, we have not had any expenditures out of the PDF accounts, and so we've continued to see growth. We're still at just shy of $11 million across all of our accounts. But you'll see in some of these areas like Granite Bay and Dry Creek, we are creating a pool of money that is enough to start undertaking some of these larger projects in these areas that have been planned. Specifically, one of the big projects that's been on our capital improvement plan for a couple of years that we're hoping to start undertaking some scoping and concept actions is the Dry Creek Community Park Phase 3. So I know that just a few months we went out to Dry Creek and had a site tour of the new cornhole boards and cornhole set that's out there. And Dan is also going to talk about some more recent activity that's occurred there. But we're getting to the point in Placer County's growth where that park will need to expand in order to accommodate all of the new population in that area. So Phase 3 of the Dry Creek Park will be expanding to its essentially fullest extent, hoping to add a couple more playing fields, other recreational activities. But once we start doing some planning and getting some concept designs, we're going to be going out to the community members, having some MAC meetings and other community workshops to see exactly what facilities the community wants to see out there right now. And so with that, that was my update for the fund balance. But again, I'm happy to respond to any questions or dig into any of these specific fee areas.
The 156K under total committed, that's for the Martis Valley North Star Trail? What's that for?
So that is the $156,000 that has been committed for trailhead parking at Schaefer's Mill. So we do have a natural surface trail essentially all around the Schaefer's Mill subdivision. And there is a trailhead there that is still to be built that these funds are essentially reserved for when that development builds out to its truest potential.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Okay, we'll move on to item 8, informational items. Project updates.
Good evening, Commissioners. Casey Lyons, Senior Project Manager. Thank you for the opportunity to share some information about the current projects we have going on. First, we're going to start with the Applegate Park Playground project. You'll see a photo here, taken today actually. Miracle Play Systems has started to build. Yesterday, we started to build. We had a 65-foot semi-truck pull up into the little park there, and that was quite the event to witness. We offloaded the truck, staged it behind the temp fencing there, and then today the contractor started the installation of the toys, they call them the playground equipment. So we anticipate that the completion of this project probably mid-August. And if everything goes according to plan, we hope to showcase the Applegate Park as possibly our Park of the Month in August. So that's the goal for now. I think we're right on track to accomplish that. As Kyle mentioned just a minute ago, we have another project in Meta Vista, which actually is down on the list. So over here, I'll jump over to Feist to go down the list. The Feist Park batting cage, we have a fencing contractor, Crusader Fence, has been chosen to tentatively schedule the fence installation for the first week in August. So our parks crews are down there. Dan's team is going to pressure wash the batting cage structure and paint the fascia and do some sprucing up of that structure. And then the fencing contractor is going to come in. We have an 8-foot fence that we're going to install around the batting cage to secure it with a fob access gate. So we're limiting the access to who can use it. There was an issue that you guys may be aware of that there was people using it at night, which made a lot of noise in the neighborhood, had some issues with that. So we're trying to correct that and not have that problem in the future by limiting in who can access that and use it. Yes, Verge.
On that fob access system, are you able to create a window when it can be used and when it can't?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, so it can be timed. The keypad could be used, but I think it's probably solely going to be the league that rents the facility. So that it just gives us control who's using it when, and that will hopefully alleviate the issues we had in the past with the loud balls banging against the metal structure, which you could imagine would be irritating at night if you're enjoying your evening in your backyard or whatever, right there by the park. So, yeah, and we're putting up all new netting, which we received the other day, which is pretty cool, customized, double roof. The entrance is lined up with the gate. So there's a lot of like this customization that we did with the padding as well. There's padding that goes on the steel beams. So it should be a really nice project at the end of the day with the netting installed properly. We won't have that loud banging against the metal. So the leagues are really looking forward to being able to utilize that again. So it's a really good project, and hopefully, the leagues can utilize it for years to come. So, yeah, go ahead.
It sounds like you've done everything you can to make it quieter. Is that
Yes,
correct? Okay.
absolutely.
Except for the crack of the bat.
That's right. Yeah. So moving on, Loomis Park, you guys heard a brief discussion last meeting regarding this, and I believe you even visited that. I wasn't with you yet on that tour, but I was able to meet down there with Kyle and some folks from our DPW team that gave us some advice on how to move forward with the engineering. Actually, one of the road crew superintendent met us down there as well. Had some great ideas about, some rock armoring, the culverts, just some improvements to the asphalt and that type of thing. One of the main things that they suggested we do is have it surveyed by our survey crew here at the county, which we actually just received back today. So I'm going to be reviewing that tomorrow, and hopefully that helps us with analyzing some of the elevations and just getting that survey and as part of the scope, so we can do a more thorough scope when we put that out to bid. Meta Vista shade structure, this is the one Kyle touched on a bit earlier. We got board approved the funds to move over major maintenance, and procurement's working on the PO number right now with Viking Manufacturing. we're going to purchase the steel structure from. They actually refer to it as a carport, but we're using it as a shade structure. So we have 2 tables that are going to fit underneath that, and it's right next to the Meta Vista Arena, or the horse arena. So it's a really pretty cool facility. This is going to be a great improvement to that facility. So once we get the down payment made, we can receive the engineered plans to proceed with the building permit. And Sean Johnson from our planning team is going to be assisting with the permitting. So great team effort on that one. And then I also just wanted to briefly touch on a qualified list we're working on. We have several qualified lists. It's a great tool for us to use to streamline the process of hiring contractors to come in and do work for us. One of the main ones we use is our tree work qualified list. So if we have a job over $4,000 that needs to go to bid, we can utilize the qualified list, and the vendors are already all pre-screened, they have all their insurance and everything in with the county. The one that we are trying to, and procurement just gave us approval to work on, is the sports court resurfacing. So we have a lot of pickleball courts, tennis courts, and a lot of them unfortunately are in pretty bad shape. They need crack, resealing and things like that. There's some work up in Forest Hill they want to do with the pickleball striping and things like that. So if we can get a qualified list in place, we can really streamline the process and hopefully move some of these projects through more quickly. And also we're thinking about using it for a pour-in-place. So a lot of the vendors that do the sports court resurfacing also do pour-in-place, which is the surface on the playgrounds. Some of the playgrounds, like this one's going to have fiber, which is like the playground fiber with the bark. But a lot of them have a surface that's called a pour-in-place, and that has a maintenance schedule. I mean, it has a life to it. And a lot of times you'll get chunks and rips, and over the years it gets beat up with the kids playing on it. So we need to have something in place that we can have those repaired, replaced, and not have to go out to a public project, which is just a much lengthier process. So that's an exciting thing that we're working on also, and hopefully that streamlines a lot of projects I'll be able to share with you guys that we can go through some of these major maintenance items and get them done more quickly and efficiently. So that's about it. Is any questions on any of those projects discussed, or?
Yeah, I do, Casey.
Yeah, Jim.
Thank you. Applegate Park, so you're building a new tot lot at the park by the ball
Yes.
field?
Yes.
So because I was just there like a month ago, and I noticed that up by the old library,
Yes.
it's all fenced off. Is that equipment going to be used, or is that?
So the county divested the old library building, the
Right,
Applegate Library, after the library branch. The smaller library branches have been kind of closing throughout the county.
Right.
When the library in Applegate closed, the county didn't have a need for that building, was my understanding. So it was divested to the community center, and the tot lot was removed at that point. So then we looked at other options of building one down at the park site.
Okay.
So within the county-owned property. So that was a couple years back, and this has been a project that's been in the works. Ted may have presented it to you before, and he actually started this project. So yeah, this is down by the pavilion.
Yeah, I know that. I was just
Yeah.
referring to up where the tot lot was still there a month ago with all of the
So,
slides and crap.
yeah, so the community center, separate from the county, has installed their own the children's play
so
area.
that's theirs, okay.
Yes,
Got it.
yeah, good question. They actually emailed us the other day and were telling us about their play structure that they're doing on their own, totally separate from the county. Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, good question, Jim. Anything else any other questions? Good. All right, I believe I'm going to pass it over to operations and Dan.
And I'm actually going to start off by giving the Mark an opportunity to talk about the fuel load reduction work and grazing. He is currently filling the role that Casey had as an operations supervisor as an out-of-class capacity. And I'm going to let him speak on this.
All right, evening. I'm Mark Henry, Parks Crew Supervisor, Acting Parks Operations Supervisor. Our goat grazing is in full swing right now, and everybody loves goats. So currently we have 17 sites that we graze throughout the county. We're using 5 separate vendors this year to cover all those areas. We currently have goats on 3 sites today. We're at Big Hill, Twilight, just up Bell. 25 acres there that we're doing. Right here on the Placer County Government campus, we're working over behind animal control, 15 acres over there. And they are almost finished behind animal control, and they are set up to do the Willow Creek area across from Home Depot by the tire shops. We currently have sheep at Griffith Quarry. It's a 15-acre site. And next week, we expect to mobilize to Todd Valley, which is a 33 acres total up there, and Hidden Falls, which is our 280-acre site that we graze. So far, the completed sites that we've finished are Trailer Ranch, that was 40 acres in Loomis, the Loomis Landfill in Loomis South, that was another 27 acres, Doyle Ranch and Dry Creek, which was 170 acres total. So that's where we stand with our goats. Any questions about goats or grazing?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Few other operational items to discuss. The Park Patrol, they have moved from our operations building here on the campus down to a satellite facility at the domes, down by the domes. We have another satellite shop, so that has freed up some space for a new program that we're bringing on board, which is our equipment maintenance operations, and we're really excited to get that rolling out. We have a gentleman on staff who's been with us for a long time, and he's going to kick that off. We're going to try to do more of our internal equipment auditing and maintenance. For our safety and compliance updates, the county has, again, I shouldn't say it that way. I didn't mean it that way. The county has changed their what is allowed to be in a first aid kit. Let's put it that way. So we have been working. Actually, Tracy's been a huge help. She has gone through all the first aid kits for the staff, made sure that they are compliant. There are certain things which we didn't have in our kits, so it's a good update. I shouldn't have made it sound like it was a bad thing, but it was a good thing. So our guys in the field are now more equipped to deal with safety situations. For our major maintenance, I threw up a couple pictures. The sod got rolled out at Dried Creek Park, our Celebration Bermuda grass. Pretty excited about that. They are wrapping up the infield next week for the ball field, but the soccer field is all rolled out as sod, and we're going to sprig the infield. This is a little cost savings. This is another 2.8 acres that we can add to our water conservation efforts. So we're looking at saving, let's see in my notes here, another about 1.9 million gallons a year. So we are creeping up on 60 million gallons a year that we have saved the residents of Placer County over the course of this program that we started in 2017. So I'm pretty excited about, the work that we've done and our conservation efforts. We have taken on more Placer County facilities as Placer County continues to grow. So does the county itself. They've opened a satellite sheriff station down in Rockland that we will be maintaining. It's quite a large facility. So we are working diligently with the study that Erica is working on to look at staffing and how much staffing we really kind of need to bring up to speed to manage all these facilities as they come online. Another one that we worked on this week over the years, you've probably heard us talk about red flag closures of Hidden Falls. We haven't quite finalized, we're really close to finalizing a red flag policy that we can put on our website, publish. We just need to iron out the last few things and get Josh's blessing on that, and then I imagine we will roll that out to you guys at our next commission meeting as an information item, just so you're aware of what happens when we close it, why do we close it, and all those important things. And then the last one is we've talked a couple times about the reservation policy and fee update. I have kind of finally finalized my red line of our existing policy and reviewed a lot of other organizations throughout the state, actually, and what their reservation policy looks like. Tracy and I spent a half an hour on the phone with a gentleman today about just they want a field and they're not Placer County residents, and we just can't give field time away, when we have our own residents that need to be met. So that'll hopefully be finalized. Our fee update, as you're aware of, this was the last year of the fee increase. So I think most of the leagues are on board with that, and we will be doing a report near the end of the year to the Board of Supervisors on how that has gone. So I think that's about it for me. Do you have any questions?
A question back to equipment maintenance. It sounds like you're working to expand your ability to maintain equipment in-house.
Yeah.
Or within the Parks Department.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about where how big you get in terms of equipment? I assume large vehicles you're not maintaining, but just
Correct.
tell me a little bit more about where's the dividing line there on
Right.
what's too
So
big?
currently, what we are doing internally is we have Fleet Services, another county division, maintains most of our equipment. What we're ideally setting up, and it sounds odd to say this, but we're trying to set up our equipment more like a rental yard for staff. I have 3 crews. I shouldn't say I, but the county has 3 crews operating from one end of the county to the other end of county. And we have limited resources. And as we bring on more staff, there's more competition for equipment. And so the plan really is to bring it all under one umbrella. We have one person who operates almost like an equipment rental facility, and they will schedule. We have a calendar created. We've created a space over at our large shop, the Elite Building, so that the equipment can be managed more efficiently, instead of somebody rolls up, they need a piece of equipment. Well, now they find out somebody else has the piece of equipment. So we've been struggling. It's kind of a growing pain issue for us. As we take on more facilities, we have more internal need for equipment. And this is just to ensure that that it's being used in, kind of as guys reserve it, right? As many of you know, if you've worked with a lot of tradespeople, they kind of get, this is mine, this is mine. And so we're trying to alleviate some of those tensions by, recognizing that this is the county's equipment and we're going to reserve it. Like, it's kind of how Fleet does it, right? They do the same thing. You can go reserve a piece of equipment with Fleet, but we're trying to launch something similar internally. So while we used to do a lot of equipment maintenance, and now Fleet has that responsibility, this is more of a managing our assets. And it will tie into other things, like Dina is responsible for our non-fixed asset list. I'm responsible for the fixed asset list. So it will be more of a melding of different responsibilities so that we can kind of get them organized under one roof.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Dan? Nope. All right, we'll move on to our action item number 9, for the park dedication fee request.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, honorable commissioners. Kyle Smith again, your principal planner, here to present the park dedication fee request from our partners at the Auburn Recreation and Park District for their Dry Creek Playground at the Auburn Regional Park. So this request is to replace this playground that's here in the frame, and this playground is located Dry Creek Park, just north, or just a block and a half or so north of where we are now. This is located on the northeast side of the park, so you can actually sort of see it from Dry Creek Road as you're driving by. The play structure here is beyond its useful life and is unable to be kind of maintained, find replacement parts, those sorts of things. And due to the age and time when it was built, there's also limited accessibility to this playground, so it doesn't necessarily allow for all users and all kids to get in there and play. So this proposed project was presented to us by ARD to essentially replace the playground with a new, more accessible playground with some additional play facilities, generally for children's aged 1 through 5. This project will include redoing all of the edging and the wood fiber surface, similar to the project that Casey just presented up at Applegate, as well as adding that ADA compliant entry to allow for accessible play, and then also some path repairs to get kids from the parking lot and from other areas of the park to the playground. So this entire project, the proposed budget is $125,000. The request here is for $85,000. So ARD would be paying, or would be spending the remaining 40 or any other overruns through their reserve fund. And then once the project is developed, because this is in ARD's inventory, they are responsible for maintaining that project. So no maintenance costs from the county go towards maintaining this facility. Next slide, please. And so the staff report provides a little bit more detail about the request, but generally, as I mentioned here, the request is for $85,000, and should your commission recommend and the board approve this request, it would leave a remaining balance of about $550,000 in that area account. So still enough funding for us to work with should other projects come forward in the near future. And so with that, staff has this recommendation on screen, and it's to recommend that the County Board of Supervisors approve a request by the Auburn Area Recreation and Park District, or ARD, for park dedication fees from our recreation area number 5, which is the Auburn and Meadow Vista area, in the amount of $85,000 for the Auburn Regional Park Dry Creek Playground renovation project. And with that, we also have our general manager from ARD here, Cale, to talk about the project and answer any questions. And with that, I'll hand it off to Cale, and then I'll be here also to respond to any questions when he's done.
Thanks. This one? Okay. I'm Cale Muscott. I'm the district administrator for the Auburn Recreation District. And I don't want to add on to a lot of what Kyle said, because that was a very good summary. But one thing I wanted to add that we've been doing, this is our third playground in a row we've done this, is once we establish a budget, we put it out to the playground vendors. As we know, there's lots of playground vendors. And we say, design your best playground for this budget, and we put it out to the people who use the park to vote on it. And the last one we did, I think we get close to 400 votes. So we do get, and we can vote through our website, but we put signs out and anything. So we just like it because we let the people say, you tell us what you want out there. And it's a very nice way of accomplishing a goal, because in the past you'd put one in and people say, well, why didn't you do this? Now we can say we did what people were asking for. So anyways, I just wanted to add that's a really cool thing we did. And then also just to hit on that, because that playground's so old, we don't even know how old it is. It's not very accessible for ADA purposes. So this will bring it up to above standard. So that's another cool thing. I didn't have any more to add than what Kyle already said, but please, any questions? Jim?
I do, Kyle.
Yeah.
No. The photographs you have, these are the existing
Yes,
facilities, right?
yes.
Thank you. They're pretty shabby.
Yeah, it's been around. I guess we don't really know the age, so yeah.
People are using that place.
They do use it, and I will say one thing that north end of Regional Park, it got a reputation about 10 or 15 years ago because we had some problems with homeless up there. And working with the Placer County Sheriffs, and then we also started bringing in our own private security that works up there 4 nights a week, just randomly. It's really helped tame that problem, I guess is the right way to say it. So we're starting to get more use in there, because there for a while it wasn't getting much use for what it should be getting used for.
So will they continue to have on that site, or at least on the parking lot, just the porta potties?
Just the porta potties, yeah. We've looked at doing years ago, before my time, I know they looked at putting a regulation bathroom there, and it got really expensive because of sewer connections. We were just talking the other day, maybe because of the new sewer line that they put in that ran right through the middle of the park, and it's been so much fun to deal with, that maybe we can connect into that new line, so maybe that's something we need to look at. Because I think before they had to pump it, which made it more expensive, yeah.
Well, what type of surfacing are you planning on putting on the new playground?
Playground fiber,
Okay,
the chips,
the
yeah.
EWF.
Yeah, yeah.
Any other questions?
How was the split of 85 versus 40 left over? How was that determined? What generated that split?
So that came from us, and that's just based on other projects we're trying to fund and what we had available. So if we got, as everybody does, a huge list of projects, and this is what we had available, where else can we find the funding for it? So, yeah.
But that was the district coming to the
That
county
was us,
saying,
yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, thank you. All right, so without any other questions, I need a motion.
I'll move that we recommend to the Placer County Board of Supervisors to approve a request from the Auburn Area Recreation and Parks District for park dedication fees from Recreation Area Number 5, Auburn Meadow Vista area, in the amount of $85,000 for the Auburn Regional Dry Creek Playground Renovation Project.
Thank you. Do I have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are moving on to, are there any commissioner comments? Anyone?
Actually, I'd like to say something I've been working on for a while. I've been working with an organization called the 40 Acre Conservation League. If you think back to your history, General Sherman promised the freed slaves 40 acres and a mule. And I believe this is an organization that is owned by a black group, but you know where Putt Lake is, right there by Nyack, and you go past Nyack and you see that little lake there. They have purchased land around that. They've been thinning the trees. They plan on, I don't know if they're going to put in a campground, but like a building and a rec center and that. And they're working on a trail system from there all the way down to Blue Canyon, because they have purchased part of the town of Blue Canyon that includes the old hotel, the jail, the cemetery. And they've asked me and my friend Ron Gould, who wrote the North Fork Trails book, to help them do a rudimentary layout of their trails. We're not going to be building them, but somebody will be. And so we're looking at all the old logging roads and the roads there. And one of the things, I believe he did meet with Josh Hunsinger regarding if this could maybe potentially be one of the legs of the Auburn to Kingvale Trail that we have as our aspiration in our Trails Master Plan. And so I've been involved with this, and it seems like a very exciting project because, we've got, and obviously we need to work with property owners east of that and west of that. But it sounds good to me to put in a little small trail system with restrooms and parking, and even if it's just a loop trails there in and around Blue Canyon would be great. So just to let you guys know, the one of the other things that's going on in this county that is not involved with parks, at least parks are tangential, but otherwise. So that's all. Thank you.
Any other commissioner comments?
I do have a question concerning our next meeting. It's up in Tahoe.
That's correct. So we will be meeting up there and going on a tour. The meeting will take place at the North Tahoe Event Center, and Tracy's been coordinating the details on that, and we'll be in touch as we get closer to identify where, we'll be going out and times for arrivals, as well as any transportation and shuttling.
Okay. And then is there a rough idea of what projects we're going to be taking a look at?
We are open to suggestions. So we'd like to lean on our newest commissioner, Gordon Shaw, to help inform that. And we also have a variety of projects in the works that we'd love to show you as well. So we can float out some ideas your way and get some feedback.
There was talk, I think, at the last meeting, or one of them, about stopping by the Cisco Grove Park. And you're even welcome to stop by Dutch Flat. We can look at the pool and what's going on there, because the Swimming Pool Corporation has been doing some improvements. It's actually quite exciting on what the the non-county people are doing.
Any other questions, comments? Gordon, welcome. Hope you enjoyed your first meeting. We look forward to having you here for many more. All right, well, with that, we will go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.